Hey guys, it's your girl Don't Touch My Toys, and today we're going to get into the top 10 Kens in my collection. So as you may have noticed, Ken has really been having his moment since the Barbie movie was released, and I'm here for it. I love a good Ken. So this is an example of the type of Ken that I grew up with. This was pretty much the Ken of my generation, and we didn't have a lot of variety to choose from. So now to have adult money and be able to buy all of these Kens that come in different body types, skin tones, hair textures, it's a dream. So my Ken collection has gotten pretty strong over the years, and narrowing this down to only 10 is going to be a pretty difficult task. Just taking a peek here at the dioramas, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? All right, let's do this. Starting off at number 10, we have Dr. Ken from 1997. So what makes this Ken so special to me? Why does he deserve a place in my top 10? I just think this Ken is a good looking Ken. He's tall, dark, and handsome. I love that he has the rooted hair. I love his sideburns, great smile, and brown eyes. Right now, 90s fashion, 90s hair is very much in. So even though he came out in 1997, his haircut is still relevant to today. I've taken this Ken out of his usual doctor's uniform, and he actually has a permanent spot on my dioramas in my Blockbuster. So Dr. Ken usually wears glasses in my diorama, but for the sake of the video, I took them off, but I do prefer him as a sexy nerd. Moving on to our number 9 spot, we have Barbie Looks Ken number 17. I'll be honest, this Ken probably would not have even made the ranks if I didn't restyle him recently, but now that he's restyled, I'm really digging his new look. This is a classic example that the way you style your dolls matter, because this is how he originally came, but he had like pink pants and some other top that was insignificant. And I thought he was a good looking doll, but he just wasn't special enough for me. Not special enough to make a top 10 Ken ranking. When I buy dolls, especially Kens, they have to have something unique about them. I don't want a bunch of Kens that have the exact same carbon copy look, much like the Kens that we did get back in the early 90s. So when I originally bought him, I was really excited about him. He's obviously made to move, which is great. That's still somewhat of a new concept for us because the male made to move bodies haven't been around for a long time. And I'm trying to build up my collection of these so I can do body swaps if I want to. But I did like the sculpt as is. I thought he had a very unique look, something that I didn't have a lot of in my current collection. But now that he's restyled, I really enjoy this doll, and I haven't found a permanent home for him just yet because this is a brand new restyle, but he's going somewhere on the diorama wall very soon. Taking my top 8 spot is the Barbie Signature Looks Ken with blonde hair and facial hair. I have no idea if this guy has a number attached to him. So when I think of Barbie and Ken, I think of two individuals that are just striking, that turn heads, and this Ken is just really handsome. I think that for a modern day Ken, if they had a Ken and Barbie release, that they were together and they were a couple and they were in love, I would want somebody who I feel is just as good looking as Barbie and not just an accessory to her. And I feel like this Ken sculpt could do that. I mean, we could agree to disagree, but this doll could 100% be a model. He has the blonde hair, he has the blue eyes, I love the flocking detail, and that he has rooted hair in a creative style. So I have this Ken styled very casual right now. He is usually in my bar diorama. I have him as one of my bartenders, but I've seen this Ken styled so many different amazing ways on Instagram. He's just got a look that's very versatile, and he's just handsome. He's a handsome Ken. He can pull off anything. Coming in at number 7, we have the Dolls of the World Japan Ken. He's an angry daddy, and I love it. So this Ken was on my wish list for a very long time, and I finally secured him in 2024. He's got that long hair, which is gorgeous, the little man bun. His facial expression is really tough, so I didn't want to put him in some soft little pretty boy outfit, so we went edgy for his look. Based on the way he's dressed and his looks alone, if this was a real life man, he would 100% be the guy I'd want to go out with. I've put him in my record store diorama. I don't know if he's going to be a permanent fixture there. Honestly, I'm just really in love with the way that he looks and his edgy style, but I'm still trying to find a place for him, like a place that I feel he is really fitting in. Maybe I'll make him like a rock star or like the lead singer or guitarist in a band. I have no idea, but I know that I really, really like his look, and I'm really glad that I have him in my collection. In my number 6 spot, we have the Lord of the Rings Aragorn Ken. So I was lucky enough to pick up this Ken at the swap meet of all places, and I didn't even know who he was. I had to Google Lens him. It didn't even matter to me who he was. I just knew that I wanted him because he was an interesting face sculpt. I clearly like Ken dolls with dark hair and facial hair, so yeah, I'm sensing a pattern here. As you may have noticed, up to this point, most of the Kens in this list have all had rooted hair. Since I use my dolls in dioramas and I do a lot of, I don't want to say super realism, but I like to put them in realistic situations, I just gravitate to dolls that have rooted hair usually. So Aragorn has just a tiny customization to him. I did give him a septum ring. I have made him a tattoo artist. He actually is a permanent fixture in my tattoo studio, and I really, really like this doll. I like that he does have a little bit of articulation. He's not on a standard made to move body, but he does have the ability to bend his knees, and then he also is able to bend at the elbows. He reminds me of the boys I used to go to high school with. This is how the guys used to dress in the 90s, and plenty of guys looked like this walking the halls of my high school, but maybe they would have some JNCOs instead of these dark denim jeans. All right, we're halfway there. Moving on to number 5, we have the Harley Davidson Ken. What is there not to love about this Ken? They put so much attention to detail in him. Let's get into it. First of all, this Ken has a tattoo. As you can see, it says Born to Ride. Absolutely love that. He's a bit older. He's not in his 20s. They've made sure to give you little signs of that. This is one of those dolls that I have to just get up and close on because there's so many fun things to look at on his face when you see all the little details that they've put into him. I love his beard. I love that they've done multiple colors there, like almost like it's salt and pepper. The eye bags, I mean, how can we deny these eye bags? Like, he's been out all night doing God knows what. Even if you notice here in his chest hair, he's got some salt and pepper chest hair, which is just an amazing touch. I need to write a letter to Mattel that I want dolls with more chest hair. I can't remember, but I believe I changed the jeans on this Ken. I know that the top and the vest is original, but I bought him secondhand, so I don't remember what his original outfit looks like. But the stuff that I got from him, I did not even want to change. Like, I loved the Harley Davidson bandana. I loved the undershirt. He was almost perfect the way that I found him, and I did not want to change a thing. So this Ken is a permanent fixture in my bar, and that's why he has a beer here. But this is just a really, really fun addition to my collection. Again, I don't like to get dolls that all look the same. I want dolls that bring different types of personalities and different types of scenes to life, and this was 100% one that I was determined to find. Moving right along, rolling into the number 4 spot, we have the Jude Devereaux the Raider Ken. Okay, this Ken I did not even know was in existence until probably 5 years ago, but as soon as I saw pictures of him online, it was a must-have. As you can see here, he is a buff daddy. I mean, look at these neck muscles alone. So this kid is in a permanent smize, and he's got that 5 o'clock shadow, and look at how thick and gorgeous this hair is. So you may have noticed that his hands are not the traditional Ken hands. If I'm not mistaken, he has the Max Steel hands, which I'm not a huge fan of his hands, but I have seen this doll rebodied, and I'm also not a huge fan of what he looks like rebodied. Let me show you what he looks like with his top off though. Ooh. Oh my God, Becky, look at those abs. Seriously, look at these abs. Although I'm not a fan of his hands, I really enjoy the concept of this doll as is, and I don't want to change him into a different body type. I just make sure that I'm able to pose him in a way that his hands aren't too distracting. So he stays in my bar diorama as well, picking up chicks, you know, and I really love his face. I think that he is such a unique Ken doll, and I honestly haven't seen any other Kens that look even remotely similar to him in the Ken releases that I've seen online. So one thing that is probably just in my head about this Ken, but for whatever reason, he always looks like a short king whenever I put him next to one of my Barbies. So just for an example, this is the girl that he usually hits on in my diorama, and I wish that she was either a little bit shorter or he was a little bit taller. Nothing wrong with the short king, okay? I'm not knocking the short kings, but I do wish that he towered over some of the Barbies a little bit more. Taking the number 3 spot, we have a custom Ken by Kel's Custom Toys. So this Ken looks so drastically different from the original Ken that I sent to Kel's that I don't even remember which original Ken this was. So I had this vision for a Ken with a black curly mullet like John Oates, and I knew that Kel's was the only person that could really bring this to life for me. Kel's even painted a mustache on this Ken. He does amazing work. If you've not seen his Instagram, I'm going to make sure that I tag him in this video because, wow, his customs are incredible. I love that I have a doll like this that is so unique and not like anybody else's, and thank God we have a bunch of different made to move Ken bodies now that we can choose from because he is officially on a made to move. So he has articulation and he stays permanently in my donut shop reading some manga. We're almost there. Moving on to number 2, we have Jamal. So if you're not familiar with Jamal, first of all, where the heck have you been? And 2, Jamal is from the Shawnee line. He's Shawnee's boyfriend. So Jamal came out in 1991 and he's actually wearing his original yellow suit here. I just added a couple of things like the black undershirt, and I gave him a little chain and a fedora. Jamal is a staple in my Ken collection. I love to photograph this doll. He is one of my top customers in my Spicy Dance Club. I love Jamal's super thin mustache. He's got a nice painted on hair that has some texture to it. He's just a really cool doll in my opinion. The 90s are still trending, so I didn't want to take Jamal out of his original yellow suit. I thought that this was cool. Jamal definitely looks like he has swag and he would still rock this even in today's age. I mean, I've seen men wearing stuff like this currently. Jamal stays relevant. He's one of my favorite Kens by far. That's why he's ranked so high up on this list. And if you don't have Jamal yet, what can I say? You need one. I'm so sad that we're coming to an end, but taking our number 1 spot, the one, the only, Happy Family Grandpa. Listen, I love the entire concept of having grandparents in the Barbie universe. We've asked Mattel for a lot of things over the years, dolls with more articulation, dolls with more hair textures, dolls with fashion colors, dolls with tattoos, dolls with facial hair. And I feel like we've started to see a lot of these things that we're requesting, but I want more dolls that are grown elders like Grandpa Barbie. I personally have a soft spot for dolls that have a more mature look to them, dolls that even have a dated type of style, like in their hair, for instance, and I go out of my way to add dolls like that to my collection. So the Happy Family Grandpa was 100% a grail at a time, and then I found him, and he is by far my favorite Ken in my collection. So Grandpa Barbie is married to Grandma Barbie, so they've given him a wedding band here, which is a nice touch. The details in the face are what I love the most about Grandpa Barbie. I love that they gave him the eye bags. He's got the little crow's feet, the little forehead wrinkles, salt and pepper hair. I mean, this man is a mature man. He's a grandpa, but you know what? He's still out there doing things. He unfortunately does not come with a walker, but me being the diorama person I am, we had to level up his grandpa status and give him a grandpa accessory. So we did give him a walker. Grandpa Barbie is usually in my Barbie Grand Hotel with his wife, but occasionally he likes to go to the Spicy Dance Club with Hart Family Grandpa, who you see over there right now. But yes, Happy Family Grandpa, #1, no regrets. He takes the cake. So that concludes the top 10 Kens in my collection. I'd love to know if you share any of the same favorites. So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing more of these ranking videos in the future, and I'd love for you to be a part of them. Until next time, I'll see you later.